Do you know of someone who is into photography and you're looking for some perfect holiday gift ideas? Well, I think I have something for you. Welcome back to Touch Live Studio. My name is Vitaly. Thank you for stopping by. And I want to go over with you guys, I think, some pretty practical gift ideas that I think, in my opinion, are very handy for a photographer, or maybe if you know of somebody who is a beginner videographer, these might be some handy ideas. I'm going to share 10 types of different gifts that I'm suggesting. Now these are many of them I personally own, so let me get into this one. Now first I want to say kind of full disclosure, this video is not sponsored by any products that I'm going to be recommending right now. These are my personal products. They are purchased with my own cash, and a lot of prices that I'm going to share, because I think it's good to have an idea as I am suggesting these different ideas what you might be looking to spend. So, but be aware that these prices may change because they're a result of the holiday sale. So, and now let me start with this one, how and why I pick certain items. Now let me mention to you, you know, being a photographer, it's not just having a camera and a lens. There's so many hosts of other things and ideas and things that you need to have just to make you be a better photographer. So the way I picked some of my ideas is I'm looking at things like lighting, because lighting is very critical for photography. I'm looking at ergonomics of camera and different things that you might want to have. I'm looking at education, how you can actually get better at what you do as a photographer. And then I cover a few things that might be great for a studio, great for an office, as well as just a location, outside location. So let's get started. The very first one is, it is for lighting, which will be great for location a little bit, but primarily for indoor use. And the first one is, this is a Pixel G1 RGB Video Light. It really goes for about $70 right now on Amazon or B&H. But again, be aware that this price may change. Now, this light is pretty amazing because this light not only has just one type of color light, it's actually many colors, and RGB stands for red, green, and blue. And so let me just kind of showcase this light specifically here. As you can see, this is kind of pretty unique look. I actually been using this one to light some of my background videos behind me. And the nice thing about this one, you can really change the intensity of this light from very saturated to different color, blue and reds, and you can pick different types of modes and something that basically kind of changes from one to the other. You can have something more like a police coming in, driving by. You can have something flash, basically if you have a thunder and lightning. You have something that if you are sitting in front of a television, it kind of gives you this glow basically. So it's pretty unique, and the battery lasts very long. First of all, you don't have to buy any AA, AAA batteries. It has built-in battery here that you just need to charge it, plug in the outlet. So pretty amazing light. It's not a big size. It really fits in the back of your pocket. It's pretty much the size of my iPhone. As you can see, you know, looking comparison one-to-one, it's really not that big, and I highly recommend. It's probably one of my actually most expensive items on my list for $70. I think there'll be another one coming out, but it's very good light, great quality. Next one up is the Spider camera holster. Now this one is primarily for lighter cameras. Spider camera holster brand itself, they make many different straps, you know, and as well for like your belt. Now this one here is, I actually recently purchased myself because I upgraded my camera to a lighter camera, so this is a mirrorless, and I got this one because it really wraps around your hand very comfortably. Many mirrorless cameras, because they're lighter and smaller, ergonomics maybe is not ideal, okay? So this camera really allows you to, you know, you don't have to have a strap around your neck, but you can simply hold your camera like this, as you can see, and it's nicely rotates. Now this camera is pretty decent for ergonomics, I would say. It's like a Nikon Z6 II, but having something like this, it's really handy. So great for in-studio photography, great for on-location photography. I really, really recommend. And again, right now it's only going for about $16. The price may vary depending when you purchase it. Next one is, every photographer typically has a camera bag, and most of the camera bags is just about the size of a backpack. But sometimes you want to have something smaller. Sometimes you want to have something more compact. So I purchased this camera shoulder bag. Now this one is marketed for DSLR, but my DSLR was actually felt was a little too big, so I used it infrequently. Now since I got this mirrorless camera, it's this little bag. I would say the style of it is pretty neat as well, and great for location. You can fit a DSLR, either small DSLR or maybe a mirrorless camera, and nice color. You can put a lens. In fact, you can put this little light right in front of one of the pockets here inside, and just it really doesn't take much space. You can put your cell phone, you can put your wallet in the back if you need to, and again, it just will remain on your shoulder. You don't need to have to set it back. It's so light and small. So again, purchased for about $30 a couple years ago. Recommended, great quality, holding up very well for me. Another one is, this one is very inexpensive, maybe cost, you know, large size of a Starbucks coffee, and 12 by 12 wide balance 18-inch gray card. Now, this is really very handy for photographers who do maybe studio work, sometimes on location. It's great for product photography because you can actually zero in on your specific colors. You can set your camera balance and camera using this small card, and then in post-processing everything will be color perfect. So highly recommend, very small investment, and most photographers probably would really use it. Next one is, now I want to dive in a little bit into education. Okay, so I want to recommend two books that either beginner photographer or somebody who've been doing some portraiture really might benefit from something like this. So the first one is, this is a Luminous Portraits by Elizabeth Messina. Again, only maybe $9–10 on Amazon. You might want to look it up. It's just interesting to look through it, get some ideas, get some inspirations. I highly recommend. And the second one is Stunning Digital Photography by Tony and Chelsea Northrup. Now these guys are actually have their own YouTube channel, have a ton of material, and this one actually comes in with 20 hours of video. So yes, YouTube was great, a lot of material information, but they really providing some specific information for beginner photographers and somebody who's even into photography for quite a while, really to understand how some camera works and different brands, and just really the details of how to be a better photographer. Another one I have is, you know, when I started photography, I didn't know exactly what to do with my memory cards, and after a while I realized that I need to be able to keep track of where my cards are, which ones are used, which ones are not. And this one is a very small, about $20 on B&H you can find. It's a Pelican, so supposedly waterproof. Now again, I've never dropped in the water, but has a little gasket around it. And the nice thing about this one is has about 12 slots that you can put 12 memory sticks. Okay, nice thing about this one is if you, let's say, use your card and you're traveling somewhere, you can simply flip this card backwards and put it this way, so you know for yourself that, oh, okay, I already used up this card, so I want to make sure I don't overwrite it. So great way to do this as well. You can put in some of the micro SD cards. This is have a smaller openings here, smaller slots. Very handy, very convenient. Again, great investment to be able to keep your cards organized. All right, now let's get into a little bit of studio. So now I don't have this in front of me, but I do personally own both of these items, and I'm going to put in some pictures up here that you guys can take a look at what it actually looks like when you take a picture with these backdrops. These are phenomenal. For holiday portraits, it's absolutely awesome. Now the smaller one is a Kate 5x7 for Christmas photography backdrop. Costs about $32, you know, plus and minus. But this little backdrop, really great for little kids, maybe a child and a parent, kind of sitting down. It's really great, especially if you turn it black and white. It kind of gives this different feel. It's almost some kind of a textured background. And the larger one is a 10x6.5 Christmas backdrop. It's a little bit more expensive, you know, close to $80, but I highly recommend the feel. The quality of it is really phenomenal. And again, I'm going to put some pictures up here. Hopefully you guys can see what it looks like when you take photographs with people with this one. And if you do proper processing, you do a little bit color grading, it really looks like a real backdrop. So highly recommend for someone who might be into studio photography. Great to have. Now, this one is, as a photographer, you spend a lot of time in front of a computer, just simply editing photographs, you know, making videos, doing other things. One thing I found was over time, you know, kind of wrists start hurting, and I found this Raychan leather keyboard rest, okay, for $15 for your keyboard. And along with that, I found this matching Raychan leather mouse pad. They both go great together, great for ergonomics, good quality, you know, and again, recommended. You know, photographer who you're going to give this to, or videographer, they'll be happy to have something like this. Another one on my list is very popular, Joby Gorillapod 3K. Now, this one is great for probably mirrorless cameras, smaller cameras. You can certainly put your iPhone on it. And actually, I have this one in front of me. And the nice thing about this one is you can actually take it onto location anywhere. And if you want to do selfies, or if you want to find this kind of interesting perspective, a corner somewhere on the fence or maybe on a branch of a tree, really this one kind of bends like this, and you can put around a rail and really take pictures. I know that a lot of vloggers actually use this one. It's pretty popular because you can extend your camera like this and hold. Again, very handy, very popular in world of photography and videography. Again, highly recommend. I use it for many different shoots myself. Next one up is, and probably the last one, is this newer 43-inch 5-in-1 collapsible multi-disc reflector. Now, this one is awesome because you can use it for so many different ways. It has 5 different colors, has a white one, black one, silver, gold, and kind of this translucent white, basically. Great to give a little bit of a shade from the sun for outdoors. Great for reflections, especially this gold one, because it gives you this nice golden hour, if you will, feel for your pictures. Highly recommend it. You know, you can probably even find somewhat cheaper for $20, maybe $25. This one is just made by Newer. I personally own one myself. Use it many times. Highly recommend it. And that's it, guys. Hope you like this material. Please subscribe if you want to hear more of this type of material, videos, and I will see you guys in the next video.